So I keep getting multiple comments on videos about using a inkjet printer for printing t-shirts, and you know, I responded to one of them, and I wasn't trying to be rude, but it's just not an ideal way to start. And I'm about to let you know about the pros of starting with something like an inkjet printer, as well as the cons. And if you stick around to the end, I'm going to give you some alternatives as well. So I see tons and tons of these videos about using an inkjet printer, and of course I posted tons of videos about starting as well. However, this is one of the cheapest ways to start, so I keep getting comments on my feed about starting this way. However, I'm not real pro to starting with something like this. So as you can see, there's tons of videos like this. I have not yet to post one of these, and I don't think I will, but I'm about to let you know why. So before I hop into the cons, let's go ahead and hop into the pros, because I can see why something like this is very popular, because I actually profited from this process as well. In 2006, I was in high school, and you know what did I do with my entrepreneurial mindset? I needed to make some money, so I went on over to Hobby Lobby, bought some Avery sheets. These are dark heat transfer t-shirt sheets that you can print with your inkjet printer, and I bought some blank tees from there. I used to make t-shirts in high school. This was in 2006, and I would sell it for 20 bucks each. So if you're young and looking to get started and you have a very minimal amount of capital, this is a great step into entrepreneurship. Just honestly remember to level up. So if you're young and looking to get started, this is very reasonable, because you know, it doesn't take much to purchase a printer. You could probably even go to your local library and find a printer that you can use, and most homes actually have a handheld iron, or you can probably get one of those for less than 20 bucks nowadays. So that's all you really need to get started. So that is one of the pros. It doesn't cost very much to get started into it. It's very affordable to purchase the equipment to be able to print and produce these types of t-shirts. You might already have access to this equipment. You could probably find it at your local library, and you might already have a handheld iron at home, or you could probably already get one for less than $20. Also, real quick, it's no secret that I made a lot of sales selling on Etsy. Whether it was when we were fulfilling ourselves or even using print on demand, not only have I made well over 7 figures on this platform, but I've also helped students reach over 6 figures and even 7 figures themselves. If you want to work on my team to help you scale your Etsy business, feel free to click the Marketplace Mastermind link down below, and we'll see if we're a good fit for you, and even if you're a good fit for us. So go ahead and click that link down below, and I look forward to being able to help you out real soon. Now back to your video. Another pro is that it's really ideal way to make some t-shirts real quick, maybe for like a family event. Maybe you have a small reunion, or you want to make some funny t-shirts to gift to a friend, or maybe if you and your family are going to the amusement park and you want some matching t-shirts. This is a real nice and easy way to be able to create t-shirts if you don't have any plans on building a business around it. And the reason why I say don't build a business around it is because you can actually start to depend on that inkjet printer once you actually get some orders around it, if you forget to level up, if you forget to invest your profits into newer equipment that can be better. In a sense, it's the same way Nick from World and Vision and I argued about not using a heat press in the past. That argument is a little bit more in depth, so if you do want to check that out, that is on the channel as well. So that is a con, is that you may end up depending on it if you forget to invest the profits into something better, which is the same thing about using the heat press as well. If you forget to start outsourcing or start to be able to produce a team in-house to be able to build up, to be able to print those t-shirts more than you can and do a better job at it than you can. Another con is that printing with an inkjet printer is extremely slow, and the ink is actually very expensive. I don't even think I have to let you know about this. I'm sure most of you guys have purchased inkjet printer ink before, just going to your local Walmart because you needed to print out some documents. And I actually even got stopped at Walmart before because all I purchased was a set of ink and it was 60 bucks. And the person checking my receipt was like, what is that for 60 bucks? And he was like, of course it's printer ink, because printer ink is so expensive. And honestly, I'm gonna let you know of a little secret. If you do really want to make some money in this game, you might want to be the supplier, not the producer. But I will say that does defeat the purpose of building your own brand, because most of the time whenever you're building your own brand, it's all about the passion, not about the money. And you know, just making the money from supplying the actual product is entirely different. Anyways, that is a little off topic. The next con is the fact that this type of paper does not typically last as long. I will say I haven't used this Nina Jet Opaque 2 printer for a quick t-shirt to test it out, and you know, I actually washed it 3-4 times and it wasn't too bad. But you can can tell more so that it is a sheet of paper compared to like DTF transfer prints or screen printed transfers. Whenever a lot of people are saying it feels like paper, whenever you actually make a t-shirt with an inkjet transfer, it really feels like paper. Another con about printing on this type of paper is that you will be limited by the design. Most of the time it is kind of a block type. As you can see, whoever made this Yoda t-shirt, it's in one solid patch. There's not really any cavities, which is like the little gaps inside. And as you can see right here, it's a large square. And if you do want something that has a little bit more shape to it, instead of it just being printed on a rectangle or square block, whenever it comes out of the printer, you would have to get an actual vinyl cutter. And when it comes to a vinyl cutter, I honestly also don't recommend these cameos and silhouettes. I'm not a huge fan of them. That's why I've never posted them on the channel. I would more so recommend something that is more of a plotter style. You can find something like on US Cutter, or just look for like a used graph tech on Facebook Marketplace or eBay, something larger that you can actually use, and most of the time they actually cost cheaper. So here's some alternatives for starting out. So the first one, honestly, I would just recommend getting one of those cheaper heat press, like $180 Amazon heat press, and then purchasing some screen printed transfers or DTF transfers, maybe from a place like TKO Sales. They have both of those types of transfers. You will actually get a more high quality print than you printing from your inkjet printer for actually cheaper, because most of these packages, I always see most people talking about getting an inkjet printer and a vinyl cutter, and it always ends up being around $500 or so. I would more so recommend you just getting heat press and then getting some actual transfers from a different company. This is an ideal way to start if you want a more similar quality to something like screen printing with lower minimums, because you don't have to invest into the actual t-shirts itself. You will have to invest into the stack of transfers, but you don't necessarily have to press them all onto a t-shirt until like your orders come in or when you want to produce the actual t-shirt. So that is an alternative if you still do want to do it yourself. A second alternative, if you want to go the outsource route, you can use a website like Printify.com, which is a print-on-demand platform. A company like this will print and ship the product to your customer for you, and this is an ideal way to start if you want to outsource it and still have a quality direct-to-garment print, where the print is actually printed onto the actual t-shirt itself, and it's not necessarily like a patch or transfer on top of the actual t-shirt. And there's also no type of minimums. You just pretty much order it on a as-need basis. So I'm not necessarily saying don't start with an inkjet printer, just don't forget to level up. The main reason why I'm making this video is because if you have to invest into getting an inkjet printer, and you know, if you have to spend around this $500 ballpark, I would highly recommend you going with one of the alternatives, because you will get a better product for a lower price, and it will be much more high quality and more of an industry standard t-shirt compared to an inkjet printer. So I hope you watched this video to the end so that you really understood what I just said, because I'm not saying don't get started this way if that's all you got. By any means, get to the money any way that you can. Just don't forget to level up. My name is Rich. If you enjoyed this video, comment, like, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one.